Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kat, and if you're not new here, you already know the drill. Today's gonna be another challenge video, and I figured because everybody loves my puppers as much as I do, because they're the best. As you can see, Falco's already here, hanging out, ready to go. Today's challenge, as I'm sure you already read in the title, is that my pups are going to pick my makeup for me. And I figured I would film in this alternate location rather than in my usual library, so that way the pups could just be featured throughout the entirety of the video. So that way you have maximum viewing capability of the pups rather than me. Because let's be real, we all know you're really here for the puppers. They are the best. We're always here for the puppers. What are you licking? There might or might not be a lot of Falco licking things. He does have a bit of a skin condition right now that makes him a little bit itchy. And since the vets right now are pretty much closed unless it's like emergency type stuff, it's difficult for me to go and get him his like bi-monthly allergy shot thing that he has. So, you know, there'll be a lot of me like trying to tell him to stop itching because the poor guy, you know. Prepare for many intermissions where I'll be petting the pups instead of focusing on the makeup. Good boy. Alright, and then you got Rogue chilling back here. So yeah, in case you're new, Rogue, Falco, Cat. So, the first thing that we are going to be putting on is going to be eye primer, because I'm going to start with my eyes, since I am trash at doing makeup. If I do my face first and then I attempt to do my eyes, it's just going to be a nightmare. So we always do our eyes first on my channel, and then we go into the face after that. The products that we are going to have to choose from are as follows. You have the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly, because that's what all the beauty gurus have recommended, and it's kind of, you can tell, I have never used this thing. I don't even know if you can see with it. There you go. I don't know if you're catching on to the theme that I let YouTubers decide what kind of makeup I buy on just a constant basis. Yeah, never been used. And I'm guessing it's kind of creamy in nature, similar to a concealer type, I don't know, texture. We may or may not find out today. That was one of the fun things about having the pups pick everything, is that I purposefully tried to pick a few things that I have yet to try, so that way, you know, we can have some first impressions on here, as well as just completely having a disaster on my face. When do you not have a disaster on your face? And the second eyeshadow primer option is going to be from Urban Decay. It has like a little wand, so very similar to concealer. I have used this one a couple times and I find that it makes my eyes crease a decent amount. I love the face primer from Urban Decay, the Optical Illusion one, which will be one of the options for the face primer when we get to that. But I got this thinking that I would be equally as excited about the eyeshadow primer as I would be about the face primer, and oh boy was I wrong. It just creases and it almost makes the eyeshadow look scaly in a way, which I'm not a fan of. But the third option is going to be the Morphe eyeshadow primer. This one's pretty standard. And then the last option is the Wet n Wild eyeshadow primer, and it's definitely the one that I actually use out of all of these the most if I'm going to use an eyeshadow primer. Normally, as I'm going to go through my makeup, it's going to be me like applying my makeup while you're seeing what the pups pick next, and then I'm just going to kind of react to it, so it's going to So, Falco decided to choose this guy, the Wet n Wild, which I'm completely fine with because, like I said, it's the only one that I actually use. So let me go ahead and slap this on my face real quick. I did also order a couple other mirrors so that, you know, we get a change of pace on there. But right now this is like, I have 2 Jeffree Star mirrors and then like a $3 mirror that I got at the drugstore when I was first starting to do my makeup, and I would like to have some other options. And so I did order another one, so I'll have something to rotate through. But I like this one because it kind of gives me Sailor Moon vibes, and I love Sailor Moon so much. Okay, so next up is gonna be my eyeshadow, and speaking of Sailor Moon, kabam! This is the ColourPop Sailor Moon collab that they did. So that's one of the options. The next one is the Jeffree Star Alien palette. Third option is gonna be from Too Faced, their Pineapple Dreams. Nope, just sparkling pineapple. Just making shit up. Can't even go with the correct name from the company. And then lastly, from Huda Beauty, their, I believe this is the Light Nudes? Yep, the Light Nudes palette. So those are going to be the 4 options. They're super excited just to be here, just to be a part of this. They love makeup as much as I do. Hashtag sarcasm. They just clearly cannot be bothered. Oh my god. Hey, yeah. So he decided to pick the Too Faced palette. I know that he put his nose on a couple of the others, but he went for this guy first, so that's what we're going to be putting on today. And this is what it looks like on the inside. It has mostly neutrals, but then there is also, this one right here is actually a green kind of tannish duochrome. But either way, that's what we're gonna throw on our face first. Let's get to this. He's an itchy boy. I feel so bad. He does get very, very frequent showers as well, or baths. I guess in this case I just use a shower head because he, along with the itching, has a bit of a skin condition on his back hind legs, like in the groin area. That's part of why he has been licking there, and so I have to do a medicated bath thing for him. It's not anything bad, it's just more uncomfortable for him, and it's not like a mange type thing or anything like that. And the fur's been coming back, so it has been getting a lot better, but it was pretty rough for a while there where his fur had completely gone away in that area, and it was just very uncomfortable for him, and I felt horrible because I didn't really know what else to do to make things more comfortable for him, but it seems like it's slowly starting to get better, thankfully. I'm also kind of hoping that once all of this stuff lifts and we're able to start moving again, woo! Countdown to moving! That once I move back to the States, that being out in Tucson with the drier air, maybe that would help out too. Just because I'm not sure if it's something where it's like an environmental reaction. That's kind of what the vets were thinking that it might be, which is why he gets those allergy shots. The allergy shots definitely help out a ton, where he hardly itches at all until it starts to wear off, and so every couple months to 3 months at most, depending on the season, I have to take him back to get the shots again. And so in the spring and summertime it's definitely at its worst, where I have to take him the most frequently to go and get those shots, and so it's super tough for him, and I feel so bad, but you know, he's doing the best he can, and those shots really do help out a ton, and so I'm very, very glad that the vet out here was able to figure it out, because back stateside they really didn't know a lot of what was the cause of it. They thought it might be food for a little while, and so I was constantly having to change his diet. That didn't really seem to help at all, and so finding this environmental type shot has really made a big difference, and so I'm very glad about that. But again, I'm hoping that out in Arizona things will get better to the point of where maybe he wouldn't even need it. Shocker that I'm going for a greenish gold look, as if I don't always do that. I'm so creative with my looks. Meanwhile today, I went with whatever kind of mauve-y red. You're welcome! The nice thing is that Rogue, for the most part, doesn't really have any issues. When I had first gotten her from the rescue, she did have a bit of some issues with worms, but that cleared up pretty quickly because we were able to get her on some deworming medication. So since then, I mean, she can literally eat anything and she will be fine, which is just nuts to me. I don't get how she's, like, she could probably eat rocks and she'd just be like, what? What was a snack? I don't know. So she has a stomach of steel, which is very, very nice. Not that it's nice for her to eat rocks, like I would not want my dog to be eating rocks, and so I greatly discourage that, but I'm pretty sure her stomach could handle it. Okay, so next up is going to be eyeliner, and the 4 options that we have for that are the NYX Professional. It's just a regular black charcoal liner. Then next up is the Huda Beauty. Next up is going to be the Stila in this funky kind of teal shade. And then lastly, from Wet n Wild, it's waterproof, which I'm not looking forward to if that's what ends up getting chosen, because it's horrible to try and clean that stuff off. Let's see what the pups decide. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm looking forward to this. Rogue jumped right up, and yes, she did not pick the H2O waterproof one, thank goodness, but she did pick the Stila one, which that's gonna be fun, trying to incorporate this. I'm also not a huge fan of doing eyeliner, just in general. I am not very practiced at it, and so this usually doesn't go very well. Okay, we can do this. Cue the fast forward. Stabbed myself in the eye multiple times while applying that liner. Okay, I will say that this was very nice and creamy, and so it went on really well. And this is also not so creamy that it doesn't stay on the waterline. Yeah, it's applied itself pretty well. Let's move on to mascara, and then we'll do brows, and then we'll get into our face. So the options for the mascara are from Physicians Formula. We have this one, and this one's nice. I like to use it if I want more of a natural eye. You know, it's not super duper pigmented, but it's not bad. And then we have this one, the Grande Drama, which is definitely one of my favorite ones. And then we have the Maybelline Lash Sensational. And then from Estee Lauder, this is one that I have not used, so this would be another new one. It's their Sumptuous Extreme. So let's see what the puppers decide to go with. You know, I'm sure that the choices are great. Falco can't be bothered. Great. Okay. So since we're doing so well, I think we'll just say that she picked the Physicians Formula one, which is this guy. Because even though I really wanted them to pick things with their noses, that has not been going well since they clearly can't. Oh, hi. They clearly cannot be bothered. And so we'll go with whatever rolls and hits their feet. Unless they do actually touch something with their nose, in which case we'll have that one trump whichever one their foot hit. Oh, hi. Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness, thank you for the kiss. I needed that. Okay, well there's that. Man, I cannot wait to do concealer and clean this up because it is, my eyes look ridiculous right now. Okay, the options for brows are the Anastasia Brow Wiz from Bobbi Brown. It's just a regular brown pencil in the shade Blonde. Next is going to be from Benefit. This is their Precisely My Brow Pencil. And then lastly from Maybelline, a brow in Ultra Slim. Oh man, Rogue said hi-ya to Falco. That is something that she does. She plays a little bit rougher with him. All right. She chose the Anastasia Beverly Hills, which is great. She definitely likes to play rough. That is her go-to for playing, which is fine because that's why I have bigger dogs, is that I also like to play rough. And so we definitely tend to go a little bit nuts. I have like scratches all over my arms because we definitely wrestle together, and she's very mouthy. Yeah, she does like to play rough, especially with Falco. She will go up to him and just take tufts of his cheek in her mouth and just rip on the fur. And he's a very patient, good big brother, and so he tolerates her a lot. Ever since we got her from the rescue as a puppy, he's been just such a patient big brother with her. He lets her take his toys all the time, almost to the point of where like I feel horrible for him, where I'm just like, stop! Like, stop taking his toys, Rogue. She recognizes how cute she is and that everybody, including Falco, loves her, and so she does what she wants. She also loves to do this thing with me where she'll come over and she'll just start licking my arm, and I'm like, oh, how cute. You know, she's giving me little kisses. This is adorable. I'm so happy that she loves me. That's not it at all. She does that to lull you into a false sense of security where you think, oh, everything's fine. She's great. And then as soon as you think it's safe, she will immediately start gnawing on your arm like it's a chew toy. And the problem is that as much as I want to scold her and be like, don't do that, like that's not appropriate, my criticisms fall on deaf ears because the issue ends up being that I'm laughing so hard because of how ridiculous it is, because she also has a wide range of sounds that she does while she's doing that because she's very vocal. She's a Shiba Inu mix. They have quite the range of sounds that they can make, and so she'll just be like this high-pitched squeal while she's doing it, but then also like her tongue gets involved, so it's like this type thing, and it tickles while also hurting, and so you're laughing at the same time that you're trying to tell her no, so you're like, no, pushing her away, and she's just like, this is incentive for me to go harder. Well, you're clearly proving that she gets it from you because you're just tossing out a bunch of random sounds. It's a thing. I don't know. For anybody that might have a Shiba out there, you wouldn't understand because you get it. You have one. That is what she was like. But she's a beauty, and I love her. She's in her nap mode. It's safe. No. What are you doing? Everything's under control. Hello. He scooted right over. This is my mother. Hello. Yes, be jealous that I get to snuggle this babas. I'm a good boy. Yeah. Okay, next up is face primer, and the options that we have for that are the Tatcha Silk Canvas, Then we have the Urban Decay Optical Illusion, and we have the NYX Honey Do Me Up. And it's super weird, so yep. It gets very stringy. It's almost reminiscent of, I don't know if you remember anyone growing up having to go into art class and like those tubs of that liquid glue that they would have that was like glue cement. Very reminiscent of that. It also has gold flakes in there. You can't really see them once it's rubbed on your face. And the Milk Hydro Grip. Let's see what the puppers go with. You know, this is great. You know, they're really interested. But she went with the Tatcha. It's not my absolute favorite. The Urban Decay is my absolute favorite. It's fine. You're supposed to have like a scraper thing, but because this is the mini the Tatcha has, I just use the side of the brush to scrape off what I need. I'm sure that's super professional and super sanitary and everything, but it's what I do. You're a disgrace to the beauty community. And it does a decent job. I will say it's similar to the Urban Decay in that it is one of the pore filling primers, but I think it's just slightly less drying. One of the things that I noticed with the Tatcha, especially with the liquid one, the liquidy bottle one that they have, is that it tends to leave a bit of a cast on my face. Kind of like a lighter, similar to like when you're putting on sunscreen, how sometimes it'll have like that white cast on there. The liquid silk canvas does that one to me, whereas this one does not. And so I think that's why I prefer this one. Where you headed? Hi. Wanna come lay down? Is my stuff in the way? Good boy. Yes, you're my good baby. Yes, you are. Looks like, how dare you, I'm with Lovin's. Oh, the stretches. Yes, ma'am. Oh, boo-boo. Wind up. Oh my gosh, she's a pretty girl. Yes, you are. Okay, alright, so for foundation, the options that we're gonna have are the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. This is one of the first impressions ones that I'll be able to do because I just got this, so no clue how that one works. The Beauty Blender Foundation. Next from Hourglass, we have their Stick Foundation. And then, because I hate myself, I tossed in the Becca. I know I literally just mentioned this one in my last video as something that I absolutely freaking hate. But yeah, I want to hate my life for today. So we'll see if the puppers pick that one. Rogue! Rogue! Leave it! What? Rogue. Okay, great. Okay. We're gonna have the gnawing sound from Rogue in the background for the rest of the video. Sorry about that. Alright, so even though Falco's foot kicked the Becca, we did say previously already, so I just want to say that we preempted that by saying that even if something does touch their foot, if their nose touches something else, we'll go with the nose as the priority. So I'm gonna save myself in this case and say that since his nose touched the Charlotte Tilbury, we'll use that one instead of the Becca, so I can have a halfway good day today. Foreshadowing, it doesn't end up being a good day for you. Yeah, I've got my beauty blender. I never know if you have to shake these, and so I just always shake them regardless. My nose is running, so that's how I know I'm ready. This may be a little bit light for me. Oh my god. What? What are you talking about? That's totally your shade. You know you're on the right track when you look in the camera and your face makes you look like you're a clown. Well, that's always great. I guess that's what blush and bronzer are for, really, is to help even that out. I do also want to point out while I have the chance that this challenge is not obviously an original idea of mine for anyone that watches these types of things. There are quite a few other beauty gurus that have done this, and so I'll make sure to link their channels down below. This looks very, very light. First impressions, I'm just going to toss this out there. This does come across fairly cakey. This is definitely not the correct shade for my skin tone. I think I should have gone probably at least 1 or 2 shades darker on this. Definitely not my favorite as far as foundations go. It is already very much settling into my creases. It looks very cakey. First impression says nay. Alright, next up is going to be concealer. So the options that we have for that are going to be the L'Oreal True Match. Next up is ColourPop. You can't see these. What am I doing here? Failing as a beauty guru. The Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away, which I know we mentioned yesterday. I'm gonna give it another go. And the Hourglass concealer. Alright, at least this time Rogue jumped right up. And nose to the L'Oreal, so that's cool by me. During many of these where I am fast forwarding through the makeup application portion, you're gonna notice my mouth moving. Because yeah, I'm definitely talking, but I'm sparing you from having to listen to just whatever garbage I'm attempting to think is something you would care about. This foundation is already just so cakey and not, like, it's not looking good. I am gonna put a little bit of concealer just around my mouth as well because I have some heavy creases there, and to kind of lighten it up a little bit so that there's not as much of a shadow there. Alright, so next up is going to be setting powder, and because I hate myself again, I thought that I would do 2 loose setting powders for me to try, and then 2 of the packed setting powders, which are what I prefer. The packed ones are the Pure Balancing Act and the NYX HD Finishing Powder. This is definitely my favorite one, but the Pure is a close second. So this is the Laura Mercier one, but along with the Laura Mercier, the other loose setting powder that I have to choose from is the Fenty in Banana. So fingers crossed that they don't pick one of the loose powders. I already know, obviously, since I already said at the beginning that I pre-filmed what they chose, but you don't know. So you don't know whether I'm gonna be in a bad mood after this or not. But I already know, and it's, you know, it's good or bad. Who knows? Okay. Looks like we're gonna have to go with the old one of the products rolled and touched her foot for this one. And yeah, in case my posturing beforehand wasn't good enough, it's the Fenty one. Okay. Just gonna go in with the lightest of dabs. No. Rogue is sniffing it because it does have a little bit of a light scent. I guess that's it for the setting powder. I'm sure that that was incredibly disappointing, but this foundation really is not looking great right now. I'm not a fan of it at all. I can see every single line on my forehead. Okay, next up is going to be blush, and the options that we have for that are going to be the Fenty Matchstick. Next is going to be the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a blush trio that looks like this. Then Estee Lauder, and then from BH Cosmetics, the Vanilla Peach Truffle. We shall see which one the pups end up picking. And of course the dogs just bail. Like, great. You can tell that they just really have no desire to be a part of this at all. Neither do I. This video is a disaster. It's Falco, come on. I know, baby. And now both of them have bailed off of the bed. Alright, Rogue is back on the bed. And nose to the BH Cosmetics. So I'm not mad about that one. Let's go ahead and jump right into that. Okay, next up for bronzer, the 4 that we're gonna have to choose from are the Butter Bronzer. I will say, one of the big complaints that people were having was that the container would break. Guess what they did in recent ones? They fixed it where it actually closes back up. And the reason why I know that from the new one is that literally the day after filming the puppers, I dropped it and it shattered. And so I had to get a new one. Next is going to be the Pure Bronzing Act. Then from Estee Lauder, I really like the container that this is in. It kind of has like a compass look on it. And then when you open it, it's a really pretty kind of nautical type design on there. But the thing that I don't like about it is I prefer my bronzer to be matte, so I can use it a little bit more as a contour. And this guy's super shimmery, so that's no fun. And then the Puppy Bronzer, which looks like this on the inside. Let's see what the pups pick. But, well, Falco got up for that one. Okay, he's paying attention now too. He's like, what did I choose? I don't even remember. And you went for the Puppy Bronzer. Yes, you did. Yeah. I would be embarrassed, but the reality is I talk to the dogs like that all the time. Okay, so he picked the Puppy Bronzer, which I think is apropos. This is definitely a lighter bronzer. I think that the Physicians Formula bronzer definitely has more of a tone to it, whereas this is like a light dusting. I will zoom you guys in at the end so you can really see the finished effect, because I'm sure that this is gorgeous. Okay, that is that. Okay, up next is highlighter, and the options that we have are from Essence Choose Your Glow. Then we have ColourPop, one of their Super Shock ones. This has a bit more of a purpley pink type sheen to it. Then from Rachel Loves, her Pixie collab. I'm so sorry that throughout the entirety of this portion of the video, Falco's just going to town. Then the last one is from Makeup Maniacs. They have some really cool products. Let's see what the pups go ahead and decide to choose. Falco again could not be bothered. And oh, but he swoops in for the Rachel Loves. All right, I think, gonna use Lace, which is this one up top here. It's kind of a pale peachy gold. So that is, ooh, look at that. Look at that glow. I'm just gonna glow to the sky today. So setting spray is gonna be next, and then we'll do lips last. I don't like doing setting spray after I've done my lip. I just find that it makes my lips feel weird. So the options for setting spray that we have are the Maybelline Lasting Fix, the Tarte Double Duty Stay Spray, the Mascara Stay. The only thing that I don't like about this one is the mister, which we know from past videos how much I don't like a strong mister. You can see, like, that first spray was just like a and then the second one was What was that sound one more time? So I just don't like the mister. So what I'm probably gonna do, so I'm gonna keep the bottle, obviously because I want to keep the product, but I am going to get a different mister for it. Last one is from Wet n Wild. This is their matte finish spray. Let's see what the puppers decide to go with. Kiss. I don't know. I do know. Pups are just chilling. And, ooh! With the nose. Falco goes with the nose. I don't know if it... Come on, Falco. I know. I know your hand. I don't know if this is one of the ones that you have to shake up. Shake well. Just kidding. I do now. Okay, here we go. Oh my god, I wasn't paying attention. I sprayed it straight up my nose. This one smells like chemicals, in case you were wondering. It is not a fun smell. Lastly, we have lips, though, so let's go ahead and knock that out. First option is going to be from Pat McGrath. This is a super pretty lipstick. It does have some shimmers in there. Next option is going to be from Smashbox. This is their Gloss Angeles, then the Buxom Lip Gloss. And then lastly from Stila, in case we want to go nuts, we have a very cool fuchsia bluish pink shade. Falco's on the floor for this one, and Rogue is on the bed, so we'll see if Rogue does it. Okay. And she laid down. So I think we'll pretend that she went with the Buxom one, since that's the only real one that she decided to sniff at all, if you could even really, like, glazing her nose past it. So let's throw this guy on, and that will be it, and then I'll come in real close for a quick second to show you the final look, so you can judge for yourself on whether you think it turned out nicely or not. I know what I thought is. Why can't I stay in the lines? Go back to kindergarten, you psychopath. This just... Ugh. Okay. Yes, it's a pretty shade. Rather than me zooming you in, I'm just gonna come to you. Prepare to be super zoomed into my eyeballs. Okay, so here's what we've got for the eyes. Not terrible, but I don't know if you can tell just ever so slightly about the duochrome on there, but my face in general, my nose, you can pretty much see the skin coming through. I mean, if I really want to know what the texture of my nose looks like, I'll continue to use this foundation. Oh, burn! Because I love texture on my nose. It's just, it's not good. Like, my chin is also starting to crack. You can definitely see the texture on my cheek, definitely around the side of my face. It's just not good. I don't like it. You know, the puppers did me dirty on this one with picking Charlotte. You did me dirty, Rogue. You did me dirty. How's that make you feel? She's delighted. Falco could not care less. He's just like, when are you gonna be done with this and when are you gonna feed me? But that was it. That was the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed having the puppers in the background and that you enjoyed me telling you a little more about them and how we are a little family. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for making it to the end of the video, and I hope you'd enjoyed this, and if you like it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, I would love that. I would love to get to know more of you. Hopefully this was fun for you guys. If you have any other suggestions for things that you would like for me to do challenge-wise or other videos, if you just want me to film the puppers, I totally get it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good one.